Welcome to the revolution.
Welcome to the revolution. I am Nick. This is MRL Now, the only show for the MRL members about the MRL members. This is show number 25. So we're a quarter of a way to 100. Which I'm not that proud of because I probably should have more than 25. But whatever, man. 25, show 25. We're here. I wanted to start off with a few things. Number one, my Bears, not good. Don't want to talk about that right now. Maybe I'll talk about it on the next show. Bigger things to talk about. Season 2 concluded, Season 2 Classic, and also the Inception franchise, Season 1, concluded as well. So a lot of activity the last few weeks. But I gotta talk about real quick, a couple of guys. The first one, on the PlayStation side, Fat Tony wins his second consecutive Classic title, which is very impressive because only one other member previously has done that. It was Jay Niz back in our very first season, the very first 2 seasons. He won back-to-back titles. But Fat Tony, obviously this year's Season 1, we didn't match up the East and the West for the title game. We should have done that. We did not, but... so PS3 Top Dog also won in Season 1, but Fat Tony won it in the West in Season 1 as well, and he won the East this season, played against the West champion, Madden Jamie, won that game, and he was crowned Season 2 champion. So congratulations to Fat Tony. Great accomplishment there. The other person, and I gotta put this guy second just because it's kind of like a workup to him. It's just an amazing run this guy's had. Billy D wins his second consecutive Classic title on the Xbox side, but the difference is this guy has never lost in MRL competition, which is extremely impressive. And I think he's got like 8 games already in Season 3. He's somewhere in the 30s. I'll have the math next time, especially if the streak goes. It's kind of like a Cal Ripken type streak, I think. He's got to be around 33, 34-0, something like that, something ridiculous. So Billy D, shout out to you, man. Congratulations there. 2 titles there in his first 2 seasons. So just a great Season 2. And then also I don't want to forget our Inception franchise where DA MVP wins the Inception franchise. I think he was the Bills. He wins that. And he actually also played Madden Jamie there and won that. So congrats to Madden Jamie there on the PlayStation side, making 2 title games. And also congrats to Wolfman in the Classic title game on the Xbox side. He actually knocked me off to get to that title game, so thought I had a shot. But whatever, we're rolling in Season 3. We're not going to do a Season 3 update. I'm going to save that for the next show just because I'm trying to do more shows, guys. I really am, and I always say that. It's just hard to play. You know, I'm not going to make excuses. Excuses are for losers. I'm not going to do that, so I'll work on that. We're going to do a Classic update on the next show. What I wanted to say real quick before we get into our member spotlight, which is a great member spotlight. And then we're going to go through Tweets of the Week, of course. Gotta have Tweets of the Week. But I want to say X Factor, still some spots there. If you're watching this, you're not a member of Madden Revolution, join X Factor. It's our Xbox franchise. Same thing as the Inception on the PlayStation side. And if you're on the PlayStation, you're interested in our franchise, the APA is kicking off this Friday, December 2nd. I believe it's at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It's either that or 8 p.m. Central Time. And Golden Rage is running that. We're going to kick off the draft there. I want to say something about that. If you're in this thing, don't miss the draft, and I'll tell you why. Rage is doing it a little different than Inception. you want to draft your team for playing like around your style, and also for simulation, because 48 hours and the weeks are moving. And I'll tell you right now, Rage don't mess around with that. From previous experience in franchises before the MRL, this guy's right on the money with his stuff. 48 hours, he's gonna have deadlines. If he says he's doing it at noon on a certain day, you better not start your game at 11:45 because you ain't getting it in. And I'm dead serious with that. So, but looks like that's gonna be a pretty successful deal there. Pretty exciting. It's gonna move real fast, which is exciting as well. So each season will be approximately a month. If he, I shouldn't say if he keeps up, he will keep up with his schedule. So that'll be pretty good there. So I'm actually in that too. I just picked up the Vikings, so I'm gonna be running that one as well. Let's jump into our member spotlight, baby. Member spotlight, MRL style. So our member spotlight for this week is known as Get Some on Twitter. And I think his PS3 tag is Got Some. MRL Vet, like I said, we got pictures up. So I'm going to read a little bit what he wrote here. Madden obviously is not my first and only passion. He has an awesome wife, Ashley, and a son, Drake. He's 2.5. That is a great supporting cast. My wife lets me be me, which is perfect. I wouldn't want any other way. I was recruited to run cross country and track at Simpson College, where he graduated with degrees in criminal justice and sociology, neither of which he uses right now. I work at the greatest bicycle shop in Iowa, Ransmunds. I think I hacked that up a little bit. Sorry about that. Where he's a certified bike fitting specialist, basically meaning he makes people comfortable, pain-free, and efficient on the bike. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool there. I've worked with some great athletes, a couple of national champions. I have people drive from states away to come and see me, seeking my expertise. I really didn't start biking till the summer before my sophomore year in college, when he entered his first triathlon. Wow, that's actually pretty amazing. Obviously, he's a pretty good athlete if you're jumping into that stuff, so that's great. He swam in high school, and adding biking wasn't that tough. I was huge into tries until I got hit in a race and broke my collarbone in 3 places 2 years ago, requiring surgery, where they put some plates and screws in to hold it into place. So swimming just wasn't realistic. He tried it, but the repetitive over-the-top motion caused serious discomfort. Then I really started to focus on running and biking. I entered my first marathon last year and qualified for the Boston Marathon in the process. So that's pretty amazing, man. Props there, man. Wow. I think the Boston Marathon's like one of the biggest deals. I'm really not into that, but I know Chicago has a pretty big one too. Anyways, that's something that has been a dream of his since he started running. The hardest part of training for a marathon is staying healthy. That is a hard part, getting to the starting line. After the marathon last year, I did some bike races for the first time and got second in the state road race championships. Now I'm really focused on Boston, which is April 16, 2012. I'm very competitive in everything I do, running, biking, and Madden. We all know about that. That is why this league is so much fun. It is that great competitive nature, yet everybody is usually a good sport and mature at the same time. I'm lucky to be in such a well-run league. Thanks for letting me be a part of it. And then we got his pictures up of his family, his bike, and stuff like that. So that's great. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we're talking about when we talk about member spotlight on MRL Now. This is great. It's just a little bit of PC like outside of Madden. Like this is really cool stuff, man. I mean, so Get Some. We got a guy who runs in the Boston Marathon in Madden Revolution. MRL Core. I mean, it don't get better than that. So, in the spotlight, Get Some. We love having you here, man. We know you're competitive. I especially know that. We've had some wars. We've gone back and forth a little bit. He's got the better of me a few times, but MRL Core, baby. MRL Core. So, that's our member spotlight for the week. So we are going to roll right into tweets of the week. I got some goodies. These are classic. I got 4. The first one from Wolfman, and he tweeted to myself and Bucknut, and all he put was "Morning, boys." Now, what's interesting about that? He sent that at like 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Like, I was literally off work. Like, I got off work 15 minutes. He sent us a tweet saying good morning. So that definitely had to make tweets of the week. This one's from Righteous, which is not an active member, but I just have to throw this out there. It is on my timeline. It only took Ohio State losing their coach and a handful of players for Michigan to finally beat them. Isn't that the truth? Seriously, that's the truth. Another tweet of the week. This is from DAMVP09. And he tweeted to John Salas and myself. "Yeah, this is the best league I know of. Compere, man, welcome aboard." And I echo that. I agree. And this is my number 1 tweet of the week by DS Korea. And I'm just gonna read it and then I'll explain it. "Man, I hope you lose." That's what his tweet was. And he was tweeting that to Barack Obama because Barack Obama tweeted, "Keep track of the campaign milestones with Obama 2012 calendar." And he tweeted to him, "Man, I hope you lose." That is friggin' classic right there, man. That's gonna be nominated for tweet of the year. You're gonna tweet the president and tell him you hope he loses. Wow. So that is our tweet of the week. One last thing here. I'm gonna wrap up the show number 25, all time. I'm gonna address clock milking. And the reason I want to address that is because we've had a lot of discussions on it on Twitter the last 4 or 5 days. Here's my stance on clock milking. Obviously, we don't allow clock milking. We've said that publicly. I've said it on Twitter, Rage, myself in the streams, whatever. It's an unwritten rule. What does that mean, Nitko? Why don't you just put it on paper? Well, we can't. And what are we going to put? Don't milk the clock? Yeah, everybody knows that. Everybody knows not to milk the clock. My definition of milking the clock is if you got the lead, you change up your style, you start draining the clock to finish out the game, right? That's my definition of it. If somebody starts the game a certain way and you're okay with that and you don't say anything to them, you cannot go into the 4th quarter saying, "Hey, buddy, you've been milking the clock the whole game because you're down by 10. That's not milking the clock in my eyes. Now, in some people's definitions of it, maybe it is. Maybe this. If you play like this, you're milking the clock. Well, for me, that's not the case. The only people that know that somebody's milking the clock are the people that are actually doing it. And the only way, in my opinion, you're milking the clock is if you're doing it on purpose. If you're just running your base offense and the play clock's running down a few times, well, that's your offense. And if your opponent is doing that and you do not like it, press pause early in the game and tell them, "Hey, man, you're not supposed to be doing this." I'm sorry, my nose is like really itching me. I don't know what it is. It's just gets me worked up a little bit. But I know some players, some members hate it with a passion, and that's great. And usually it's the ones that want to put 45 to 55 points up on the board. That's fine. Frankly, I'm the one where, yeah, I have complained on streams before about it when my opponents have been doing it to me, but at no time did I press pause and tell them about it because you know what? At the end of the day, I don't really care. If you want to drain clock on me, go ahead. If I win the game 6-3, I'm happier than blank. I'll take the win 6-3. I don't care. I like those type of games. So that's just my take on it. It's in discussion right now, myself and Rage. We're thinking of other ways, and the reason we don't want to put it out there as an official rule is because policing it will be absolutely impossible unless you got hardcore video evidence. That means it would have to be on a case-by-case basis, and it also means that not everybody would be able to do it because not everybody has access to that, access to a camera. So we might come a time where, you know what, we might say, you know what, we're going to up the clock to 5 minutes and you can do whatever the heck you want. Some people will like it, some people won't. As of now, it's an unwritten rule. Just play the darn game. That's all we're saying. Jump in there, play your guy, play your style, play the game. Don't drain the clock. Don't try to cheat people. Blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's all I got. The Madden Leagues, the best league in the Madden community, because we have the best members in the Madden community. I am Nitka. See you later. I'm out of here. I am out of here. And this is my new thing I started last night. Oh, I hit it. That's what I'm talking about.